Good evening, everyone, and thank you for your attendance, both judges and cohort, for your attendance today and participation in the 2022 Bell Revival Business Graduation. I know everyone has been working hard over the past several weeks in conjunction with Mr. Holmes and his facilitation, and we just want to thank him for his extraordinary effort, as well as the support of the Revival Hotel Baltimore, whose remarks and feedback we're going to be hearing from shortly. As you can see from our agenda, I'm just going to go through it quickly. We're going to have introductory remarks, not only from myself, but also from Revival Baltimore. You all are going to be going into breakout rooms for your final presentations. Again, a reminder, there are going to be 15 minutes for each presentation and 5 minutes for the judges to follow up. Following that, once we all return back to the main room, once all presentations are completed, we're going to have some feedback from the judges. They're going to talk about the experience. Then we're, of course, going to have direct feedback from all of you as business owners to hear how everything went. And then, of course, we'll commence with the graduation straight away. So without any further ado, let me have Mr. William Holmes say a few words, and then we can turn it over to Revival Baltimore. Mr. Holmes, you have the floor, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Brown. So first, just really on behalf of the entire team at the Baltimore Economic Leadership League, I want to thank all of you so much for, first, let me thank, of course, our business owners who participated over these last 6 weeks. You put in the work and now you're here, and I'm so proud of you. You should be very proud of yourselves. You did it. So now's the time for you to talk about how you plan to grow your business. I also want to thank, of course, Revival Baltimore. They, when they came to me a few months ago, and they had the idea of doing this with Bell, I was very excited, and I was very impressed by their commitment to the community. I've worked with Mr. Jason Bass on numerous occasions, and that's just another example of all that he tries to do to make Baltimore better. So very, very glad that they reached out. And then, and as Mr. Brown said, I really want to thank all of our judges for being here tonight. You give incredible feedback that's so valuable to our business owners who have worked so hard to prepare these presentations. So I can't say enough, and I can't thank you enough for continuing to help me in this regard. So Mr. Brown, of course, thank you for your support, and I'll turn it back over to you, sir. Thank you so much for everyone being here tonight.
Thanks again, Mr. Holmes. With that, we're going to hear a couple words from Mr. Jason Bass. Mr. Bass, you have the floor, sir.
Hey, how's everybody doing? I want to say congratulations. Great job. You guys should be very proud of this moment. I wish I could actually be on camera right now, but I'm traveling because we're working on some impact work and culture work in Miami at the moment with the hotel. So our reach is growing a little bit further than just the Baltimore market. And one thing I want to say before I even get into the other details is just thank you to William Holmes and to Will Holmes and his team for everything that he's done to develop this program and provide the resources that he has to you all. And another part of that as well is, I wish I was a little bit more available, but when you guys have reached out, I deeply apologize that I haven't been able to be as accessible as I would like. But I do look forward to connecting with a lot of you in the future. And, we're going to take this moment to really kind of just celebrate what you guys have accomplished. I look forward to hearing more about your businesses, and good luck today.
Excellent. Excellent. Thank you very much, Mr. Bass, for that. I appreciate that and everything that Revival Baltimore has done and continues to do, as well as our thanks, of course, to WHC and everything that they have done to lead us up to this moment. So now, everyone, it's the moment of truth. I'm going to be assigning you into your breakout rooms. Each one of the judges will introduce themselves. Now, I think that we may have one or two judges trickle in. If we do, I'll add them to breakout rooms. Then, of course, we'll be able to introduce themselves to all of you as a group once you all are assigned. If you all do need to come back to the main room, or if you have any questions that your judges can't answer, or if you lose connection, what have you, I'll be here in the main room, and then I'll be able to direct you accordingly. Okay? So with that, I'm going to go ahead and open up the rooms. Good luck tonight, and we'll talk again shortly.
Welcome back. All right, thank you all so much. We have completed all of our presentations, which means that everyone has met their obligations and we can have graduation. Before we do that, and it's just going to be in just a few minutes, and actually our executive director, Mr. Rennard Brown, will actually lead the actual commencement at the end of tonight. But before we do that, I just want to get some feedback, okay? So let's start with judges. Judges, first of all, thank you all so much for, as always, helping me. Obviously, it takes 6 to 8 weeks to get people here, but I really, of course, rely on you all to hear these presentations and give feedback. And hopefully, if you saw people you can work with, make some connections so you all can work together. So if I could, any of the judges, if you could give some feedback, I would definitely appreciate it. Anybody?
I'll jump in. I just want to commend everybody on a great job that they did. The ladies that were in my session knew their deck very well. Honestly, I had some issues with the deck, and Will and I can talk about that later. But but I think the ladies did a great job in what they had to present. And again, I had some criticism, and they took it well. I want to be very clear that I'm not here to be a cheerleader. So it's all in love, and I hope y'all understand that, but I think they did a great job.
Thank you, Mr. Peterson. Also, Mr. Peterson is a founding member of BEL, and he's on our board. So we definitely want to hear what he has to say, and we'll make those changes as needed. But Mr. Peterson is also representing M&T Bank. Thank you for being here tonight as a judge. I appreciate it. All right. Any other judges? Any other feedback?
I'll say that my group were amazing. Both of them learned a lot in the class, which they talked about, but also they knew where they wanted to go. So that was the ultimate in seeing that they knew what they needed to do to be able to scale and putting those options in places. I was able to provide some information and connections to them, but the fact that they already knew what they needed to do was a good thing.
Thank you, Chairwoman Kimberly Royster of the Baltimore City Chamber of Commerce. Thank you so much for being here and helping out. Ms. Royster is also a fantastic accountant. So if, I focus on the numbers. So if you need help with that after this program, please, of course, reach out to her. How about from Meridian Management Group, Tim or Mr. Tucker?
I think I mentioned just a little earlier before everybody came back. I thought our group was very amazing as well. Very consistent when the presentations, very fluent, very precise, at what their issues were, what their plans were, got a lot out of it, generated a ton of questions. And as I said, we got to finish a little early. So we had, 10 to 12 minutes just to have some general discussion, but I did take the liberty outside of the 3 questions that were prescribed to ask other questions and make other points. And the responses were very, very precise. Was impressed with the progress that they made. And I think, they showed the enthusiasm of, what they've learned over the past several weeks in the program and or at another point. So hopefully, I invited them to, give me a call, send me an email, to have questions, issues they'd like to discuss, anything we can do to help as a bonus, to them participating in the class that will help them go forward. We will do that.
Thank you, Mr. Smoot. Mr. Smoot is actually a great friend to the Baltimore Economic Leadership League. When there are people who we're not able to lend money to, we often refer them to Mr. Smoot, and his team is able to take care of them. And of course, also actually Mr. Peterson, M&T Bank, another preferred lending partner. If we're not able to help someone, we prefer the M&T. They're also in the community, always ready to help. Actually, let me ask before we go into feedback from our participants, Mr. Jason Bass from Baltimore Revival, you actually were able to hear some of the presentations. Do you have any feedback from what you heard tonight?
Yeah, absolutely. Everybody did a wonderful job. They incorporated images and content from the hotel. I wasn't expecting that at all. So I have to commend everyone who presented and did that. Very smart move. Also really liked how the presenters didn't read from the slides. It felt like they really knew their content. It felt like they knew their business. The slides were just there to support their storytelling, which I thought was fantastic. Some of the things that I would look out for is that, everybody needs money. So there has to be something else that you might need from a resource perspective that'll get you to where you need to go. And then also, looking to identify what your profit puppy is. Like, what is the product or services? Like, really nailing that down versus having like 6 to 10 different things, products and services that you're throwing out there in this net, and hoping that, it catches some things. Focusing in a bit on what that profit puppy is that has, a great margin for you and can scale, and, doesn't take up too much of your time, because everybody seems like they are a time deficit, right? So if that can be achieved, then I think you would be able to eventually get the capital you need to do whatever you want to do, and you learn so much more about your business and who your customer actually is. Because in most cases, who your target customer isn't your actual customer.
Excellent. Thank you, Mr. Bass. I appreciate that. And of course, thanks for partnering with us on this initiative. It has been fantastic, and we all look forward to next week's actual pitch competition. So let's see if we can get some feedback from some of our participants. Maybe 3 or 4. Anyone want to share how they felt about the program, or how they felt about tonight? Whatever's on your heart, let's open it up.
Well, for me, I can't believe that I got all of what I got in this 6 weeks for what I paid for the membership. I mean, it is just amazing. Everything that I needed for my business, I got in this 6-week class. And I am so happy. I'm just so elated with everything that I learned, everything that I was able to put in place, because I was looking for the things to put in place and who to put it in place. And it was just awesome. The classmates were amazing. You were amazing. Mr. Brown was amazing. The whole thing was awesome for me.
Well, thank you, Ms. Ricks. And so for those of you who don't know, Bell members were able to participate in this program. It's just part of their membership. They didn't have to apply, so they were able to just come in. And so Ms. Ricks, she took advantage of that, and she did an amazing job. And I'm so glad that she did. It's been great to get to know her so much better over these last few weeks. So Ms. Ricks, thank you for that. And of course, any members watching this video later on, when we run this program again, you're encouraged to participate. Okay, so thank you, Ms. Ricks. Anyone else have anything they want to share?
I want to say that this class was extremely helpful, putting a lot of things into perspective about revenue goals and what it takes to achieve those goals, and just making sure that that foundation is set very strong, so that as you grow, you're not growing on shaky ground. And so I'm very grateful for this opportunity, and it was wonderful, a wonderful 6 weeks. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Fields. Thank you so much. Maybe one other person want to share, maybe 1 or 2, and then we'll go to graduation. We're right on time.
I'm happy to echo that, what everyone's saying. This program has been incredible, between the knowledge that you've given us and the knowledge of all of the panelists and everyone else here in the room. Learning from you all has been a great experience, and it has changed and altered the trajectory of my business for sure, for the better. So thank you.
All right. Thank you, Dr. Haneefa. I really appreciate you. Okay, well, we're going to move on to graduation. We're right on time. I'm going to, and let me just show you all before I give it to turn over to Mr. Brown, our Executive Director. So everyone should be receiving at this moment, like right now, should be receiving their Baltimore Economic Leadership League certificate of graduation. We want you to have it right before you graduate. And it looks like this for those who are able to see it. Obviously, where it says Baltimore Business, that would be your name. We just want to read it out to you. Baltimore Economic Leadership League is hereby recognized. This individual who has graduated is hereby recognized as a graduate of the Bell Entrepreneurship Program, the successful completion of the 2022 Bell Revival Business Growth Accelerator. Signed, Will Holmes, BRB founder, Bell founder, and then of course, Mr. Rennard Brown, Executive Director of Bell, the Baltimore Economic Leadership League. Mr. Brown, I turn over the floor to you for commencement.
Thank you very much, sir. And I would just invite you all to just pause and take a breath and just think about what you've accomplished over the 6 weeks. And there's been a lot of information that's come at you. You've had a lot of exposure to different mentors, to different opportunities to look at aspects of business, whether it's accounting and taxation or human resources or scaling and things like that. And I just encourage you to take advantage of a lot of what you've seen presented to you today. You have a couple folks here in the chat, some of the judges who have been kind enough to provide their information as business contacts to help get you started. And this is really the foundation that really is going to set you forward as you can take some of this stuff, make sure you don't lose it, make sure that you incorporate it into your business and plan to use it going forward. Knowledge only works if it's used. So make sure that you think about that as you plan to move forward. And of course, I wish you all the best success in your own businesses. Now, with this being the moment that you've all worked hard for, on behalf of the Baltimore Economic Leadership League, Revival Hotel Baltimore, and Will Holmes Consulting, I officially recognize that you satisfied the requirements, put in the work, and then created a plan for growth to positively impact both your businesses and your communities. You are the first graduates of the BRB Revival program, and congratulations. Both Mr. Holmes and myself are so proud of you. Why don't you give yourselves a hand? Thank you all for your hard work. So I have to do it virtually, like I'm handing it all to you as you turn your tassels over, right? We can't do that in person, but congratulations to all of you. And again, thanks for your hard work. And now you will have a certificate, which all of you have in hand, and you can post proudly on your social media of choice to show what you all have done. And of course, as Mr. Holmes has said, I would be remiss if I didn't remind everyone that joining membership in the Baltimore Economic Leadership League opens up a few different opportunities similar to this, as Ms. Ricks found out. So please, I invite you to join Bell at joinbell.org. Okay. Thank you all very much. And Mr. Holmes, the floor is yours as we close out the balance of the evening. And I think that might be it for our recording as well.
That is correct. It has been an absolute honor getting to know you all. And I look forward to seeing your pitches next week, those who are going to pitch. And if I could be of any service at all, or if Bell could be of any service to you, we encourage you to reach out. Thank you and have a good night. Congratulations.